Hi everyone, welcome to GTS Distribution's Come and Play Day here in Seattle. My name is Rodney Smith and I've been joined by Mike Seliger, the designer of the Pathfinder adventure card game. Nice to see you again, Mike.
Always a pleasure, sir. They let me out yesterday. I signed 700 books, so I'm excited to be doing something that doesn't involve writing my own name.
I didn't think I'd ever see you again because I know how many cards were in Rise of the Runelords, and you're back with more.
Yes,
with more.
Indeed.
What is this? What have you brought?
This is Skull and Shackles. It's our brand new release for the Pathfinder adventure card game. It's set 2 of hopefully a great many sets. But this is very different than Rise of the Runelords. It's pirate themed. It's got ships and guns and all sorts of craziness going on. And we're just really excited that it's going to be coming out and show a new dimension of the Pathfinder adventure card game.
So do you have to have the original set to play? So this is standalone?
Start over from scratch. Right. You can, if you've played the original, then you probably know quite a bit about it. You'll be able to bring that knowledge to this. All the sets are cross-compatible, so if you really enjoyed playing Ezran the Wizard, who's not in this set, you can bring him over and have him play in this. You can take stuff out of here and go play Rise of the Runelords again.
Bring a pirate onto your adventure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have also these brand new class decks that we're going to release, which are there's a whole bunch of different fighters in the fighter deck, and there's a whole bunch of different wizards in the wizards deck, and you can use them in here too. So we wanted to just make a whole crazy large world.
Okay.
And so this is our brand new expression of it.
Excellent. So are there some changes, some differences here? Besides, of course, I'm sure there's lots of new characters and cards.
Yes.
What about the game mechanics? Is anything changing there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of new things. We learned a lot in our first release. We made some conceptual changes. The game rules all function the same, but for example, there's ships. It's the biggest thing in the new game. Another is guns. Guns are very different and unpredictable and such. There's a whole set of new pirate mechanics that about how you gain treasure and how you try to hold on to it, and sometimes it gets taken away from you and stuff like that. So
hang on to your loot.
Yeah, hang on to your loot. So yeah, all sorts of new things.
All right, now it's been interesting to hear about these new elements,
absolutely.
Mike, but it might be kind of fun to show them. Can we do that? A little bit of gameplay, maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's show people the new stuff.
Okay. Well, listen. Why don't we have Chad, your cohort, jump into my seat here. He can help you out. And I just want to mention to people as well. We shot a previous video, right, of the Rise of the Runelords.
Yeah, I did that last
year. And we have that online. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video if you'd like to check that out for some of the other details of the gameplay. But let's dive into some new stuff right now.
Hi everybody, my name is Chad Brown. I'm the lead developer of the Pathfinder adventure card game.
That's true. And we're going to play some Skull and Shackles.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to show you a few cool new things that are going on in this game. I am playing Jarell. She is a swashbuckler, and Chad is playing Lyrianne. She is a gunslinger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of new things that you need to be introduced to. The first is that we have a ship. Its name is the Merchantman. It is a Class 0 ship, which means it's not a very good ship, but hey, we'll get a better ship somewhere along the way.
You got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. So a ship is a new kind of card called a support card. Support cards sit out in the game and affect the game. A couple things you can learn about ships. They can be encountered, and when you encounter them, you often have to fight them. We might get to that later. When you have a ship, it affects you on your turn. You are the commander of that ship, and so it says when commanding this ship, there's a special power. They have a few things that they can do. They can hold plunder. Plunder is a new mechanic that says ships can carry things in their hold, and so at the start of the game, every ship, your ship starts with a plunder, and then over the course of the game, you might do various things to get more plunder. Now, you don't know what this is, and at the end of the game, you will get to keep whatever the plunder is. This is all assuming your ship is fine. But sometimes your ship is not fine. Sometimes your ship gets wrecked. And when your ship gets wrecked, it flips over, and then it doesn't do any of the good things that it does before. It starts to bleed plunder out of its hold. It's no longer functional, and you got to repair it with your craft checks to get it back up to to this. So we have a fleet card. The fleet card shows what ships we have, and so right now the Merchantman is checked, but over the course of the game, we might get told you get a Class 1 ship, and so you look down and you'll say, well, I'm going to take the Man's Promise, or I'm going to take the True Wind, and then you'll have your own armada of ships that you can use over the course of the game. So I'm going to start out being the swashbuckler. We're over at the coastline, which is a fine place, but it's not as exciting as an island full of sharks.
I agree. Let's go get some sharks.
So what we're going to do, I'm going to start on my turn, just like in a usual game. I will flip over a blessing. Oh, I got the Blessing of Milani, one of our new blessings. They've got all sorts of special powers now. And then I will move to my next location. And in Rise of the Runelords, I would just pick up my card and I would go over there, and that would be that.
But wait.
We have a ship. And one of the ship's special powers is anybody at my location when I move can come with me. So
I'll hop on that ship.
you want to get on the ship? All right, we're all going to Shark Island.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want to go to Shark Island?
Why are we going to Shark Island?
Because there's sharks there.
Oh, right. Okay. So, so we've arrived at Shark Island, and I will be flipping over the first card of the deck and see what I get. I get a spell called the Black Spot. The Black Spot, you'll notice our spells are a little bit different than they used to be. They no longer have a recharge block, even though they still all recharge, all sorts of other new things. But I just have to make let's see, I will have to make a Wisdom check is probably my best shot to get that. So I'll roll a D8, I get it, and I put it in my hand. That's pretty awesome. That will be what I do with my turn at Shark Island.
All right. Does Shark Island have any special powers?
It does.
Awesome.
Why did you come with me to Shark Island, Chad?
Because I thought there was going to be some special powers. In fact, at Shark Island, whenever you start your turn at Shark Island, the first thing that happens is you fight a shark. We have the shark here.
There's a lot of sharks in this game.
There might be a lot of sharks in this game. Yes.
Sharks' special power is they can't be evaded.
Cannot be evaded. Not that I was going to try.
No.
And also, the difficulty to defeat the shark is increased by the adventure deck number of the current scenario, if any. Now, we're still in a starting scenario, so it's not going to get any harder, but it's still going to be a combat 9.
It's a good thing you're going to fight a shark, Chad, because you get to show off what you use to fight with.
Indeed. So Lyrian is our gunslinger.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break out a pistol. A pistol is a basic firearm from the new set. And for my combat check, I'm going to reveal this card as normal. That's going to let me roll my range skill plus 1d6. So I'm going to pull out my d6 and then my range
Why are you
die.
using a pistol? Don't you have anything better?
I'm not worried about this shark. It'll be good.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sure, fine. You can miss me. Rather than the basic card, we're going to show off the dragon pistol.
Yeah, all right, that's awesome.
Dragon pistol's a little tougher than that shark. Instead of, I'm still going to bring out my dexterity range skill plus 1d6, but when I want a little extra oomph, I may bury the pistol to add an extra 2d6.
Okay.
I'm going to need to borrow some of your dice.
Absolutely.
This is something that anybody could do, whether you're especially good with guns
I
or
could
not.
totally do that.
But being the gunslinger, I have a special power that says, hey, when you would bury a firearm for its power, you may instead bury a different card. That lets me use the gun over and over again. So I'm going to bury this card, keep this. I'm going to roll a whole bunch of dice here. Now I need a 9 here for this shark. I'm going to roll one of these twice.
3, right?
And I got a plus 3 from my range skill, yes. So that's 11, 17.
It's a lot, is what it
yes.
is.
So I'm going to beat the crap out of the shark, yes.
Yep. Goodbye, Sharky.
This goes back into my hand. And then I'm going to see what's on top
We
of this
here
deck
at Lone
here.
Shark Games do not condone shark abuse.
Yeah, that's more or less true.
Yeah.
Sharks have a vital and important purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
In this game, it might be to be beaten up.
They
but
do get shot a lot.
not all of the sharks will be beaten up quite so easily.
It's true.
That I promise
There are
you.
many sharks.
Yes. So I'm going to explore my location, turn over the top card, and I'm going to find our merfolk.
Yeah.
Merfolk is a basic aquatic monster here.
Hey, this Merfolk shows off something cool about the game, which is that in Rise of the Runelords, you had pretty much, when you met a monster, you just sort of fought it and so forth. But in this game, there's a lot of different ability, or a lot of skill checks that you might have to make. They're constitution, wisdom, intelligence checks, all that. And so you kind of have to advance your characters differently.
It's true. In Rise of the Runelords, it was really, many people found it was very effective to find one or two things you're really good at and focus on them.
Yeah, that gets you killed here.
Yeah, when you're out on the water, no matter how good you are with a gun, if you can't swim, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to need to be able to hold your breath. You're going to be able to navigate a ship.
Yep.
And in this particular case, the merfolk, being a very friendly aquatic creature, if I don't defeat it, it's going to pull me underwater, and we're going to have some fun times where
Yeah.
I can't breathe and it can.
Right.
So I'm going to try to make sure that doesn't happen. But if I failed, if the merfolk was undefeated, then I would have to succeed at a Constitution or Fortitude 7 check, or I'd start burying cards from my deck, and that's going to represent me drowning. But I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen by breaking out the Dragon Pistol.
Yep.
Now, again, I
Which
definitely
you still
don't want to.
have.
I still have because I use my gunslinger power.
right.
And this time I'm going to bury a card again because I definitely don't want to drown here.
No.
So I'm going to roll my D8 plus 3d6 plus 3.
1x merfolk.
Excellent. So we
Yep.
defeat the merfolk.
Yep.
And that's going to be my turn because I've used about half my hand. I'm going to draw up,
All right.
and it'll be your turn.
Well, that sounds good. I think we'll stay here at Shark Island. You know, normally I'd have to fight a shark here, but our viewers are really smart.
Sure, they know you can beat up
They
sharks.
know I can beat up sharks. So we're just going to skip over that.
Sure.
And go right to the next card. I do find the first thing here, which is, oh my gosh, an enemy ship. So an enemy ship is a henchman. It's a skirmish. But it says, summon and encounter a ship. So we need to randomly select a ship from the list. And oh my gosh, what do we find? The Wormwood.
The Wormwood.
That's not a good ship.
You'll notice the Wormwood is a class 5 ship, so
Our
it's a
ship
little
is
tougher
not.
than yours.
Our ship is not as good as the Wormwood.
Yeah, you could take it.
Well, I am a swashbuckler.
I agree.
So the difficulty is increased by the adventure deck number, thankfully, not a problem. You'll notice I have a couple of checks here. Neither of them are combat checks. I can either make a dexterity or acrobatics check of 9 or a wisdom survival check of 7. My dexterity is pretty good. It's a D10, so I think I'll try that. Oh wait, no, my wisdom survival is a D8. That's not as good, but I do have +3 on my survival because the swashbuckler is particularly good at fighting ships. So I'm going to take my D8. I'm going to...
Would you like some help?
Oh, I definitely do.
It turns out I have in my hand, I just drew a Blessing of Milani,
Yeah.
who will help with discard this card to add 2 dice to any non-combat dexterity or wisdom check.
Oh, well, hey, that's pretty good. All right, so that's going to get me 3 dice +3. I'm going to play the Old Salt's Bandana. It says, reveal this card to add the swashbuckling trait to your check.
Well, why would you want to do that?
I like swashbuckling.
Oh, what do you mean by like swashbuckling?
Well, here's the thing. The Jarrell's card says, if your check has the swashbuckling trait, you may re-roll 1 die on your check. Right? So even if I roll the dice and I don't like the result, I'm going to get to do that. So put that back in my hand. I'm going to roll 3d8 plus 3. Hold on.
You got a 1.
Yep. Oh, I got it. I just got it. Okay, so I have defeated the Wormwood. Now, the enemy ship card says, so it's a henchman. I get to close the location. No more sharks at Shark Island. That's great. But here's the great news: I can seize this ship. So first thing I do when I get a ship is I get a plunder. So I randomly roll on the plunder table. So the plunder table is this nice thing that says roll a d6 and will determine what type of plunder my ship gets. So I'm going to do that. Wait a minute, maybe I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think I like this random chance
You don't
thing.
want me to just roll and randomly get an armor and item? No, because we're on the Merchantman, and the Merchantman says when you would roll for plunder, you may discard a card from the Blessings deck, which I shall do, to choose the type of plunder card instead. What type do we want?
I'd like a weapon.
Okay, well, let's see what we get. We get a Fire Lance. That's a pretty awesome gun. So that gets tucked under our ship. Actually, we really didn't know that exists.
True,
but,
yes.
But whatever. We just wanted to show off that it was a pretty cool Fire Lance.
So plunder represents the resources that you're going to gain as you go through here, and if you get to keep them at the end, then they'll be added to the pool. You have to add them to your decks and spread them out.
Absolutely.
But you might lose them along the way.
That's
so
right.
You can't count your chickens
And
before they're
and the
hatched,
thing is,
or
this
your
is a
plunder
really
instance.
fragile ship, right? So,
Yes.
let's do the other thing that the enemy ship lets us do, which is since we beat the enemy ship, we can seize the Wormwood.
Yes.
Right. So, Merchantman, you've been great. Come back sometime later. But we are going to take this awesome Class 5 Wormwood
Yes.
ship, and now we got all sorts of new powers. We're ready to rock. And we can continue looking for our villain, jumping all around from place to place. Freedom of movement, freedom of the open seas.
Yes.
I think this is going to be a great adventure.
Oh, absolutely.
I have to admit, I was watching you and Chad play, and I was laughing my butt off.
Well,
The Shark Island and all the sharks flying at you.
We do have a good time. I mean, the great thing about this game is that it's just. You can't not have fun playing it, right? I mean, it's just you go around and this dumb thing happens and that horrible
Yes.
thing happens and you're like, oh my God, how are we going to get out of this? And then somehow we managed to make it out of this, and we're
Listen,
pretty
I
happy.
can speak from a place of experience. I've since gotten Rise of the Rune Lords. It's the last
Yeah.
time I saw you. I'm on the 3rd adventure deck myself.
Cool.
I have some work to do because I need to catch up so I can get into this.
That's right. That's right.
I'm looking forward to that. Now listen, I noticed we're playing on this really nice looking playmat. What's the story here?
Okay, so we have this wonderful licensor called Ultra Pro,
Yep.
and they make some very cool stuff. They've made character mats for us, so every character has their own playmat that they can put their cards on, and it looks different for each one. We've got this wonderful adventure mat that shows you where to put your cards, and this is where your locations go, and what your blessings deck and all that. They've made some card sleeves for us because people were really asking for that.
Sure.
I haven't actually seen this yet. We have what's called an adventure case, I believe, which is a special deck box. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't even seen that come off the shelf yet.
Cool, so you can sort of store your character, take it over to buddy's house, play, or whatever.
Yeah, I
something
mean,
like
like all sorts of fun stuff, right?
Right,
So,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we just have a lot of things coming out. People have told us that this is sort of a lifestyle game, so we want to make sure that you can customize it. People are asking for all sorts of ridiculous things, like when is the official Pathfinder adventure card game Lazy Susan coming out? And like, okay.
You can only do so much
That's
here.
right, exactly. But I mean, the accessories are really great, and now that we have the class decks, people will be able to customize their characters and play in organized play at conventions and at retail stores. We're just going to have so much content that people love the game, but they said, well, you just don't have enough stuff for it. And so I'm hoping that this will get people the stuff they want.
And this is why I only see Mike once a year. You
Does
need to go back and get back to work.
It does take a while.
I want to put in one plug. Maybe can we get a shark plushie? I want a shark plushie.
I will make sure that happens just for you.
Excellent. Well, listen, when is this going to be releasing?
So the things that are coming out in August are the Skull and Shackles base set and the character add-on deck. And the base set contains Adventure 1. The first 7 class decks and the first scenarios also come out in August, so it's going to be a crazy Gen Con. I have no idea what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
Last Gen Con was insane.
I was there, I remember, and it was just selling like hotcakes.
We sold out in 4 hours,
Yeah.
right? So this Gen Con, hopefully bring a little more stuff.
Yes.
And organized play will debut, and we're just going to see where it takes us. I think it's going to be great.
Well, it's very exciting. I really appreciate both you and Chad coming.
Absolutely.
Showing us the gameplay. Mike, congratulations on
Thank you.
success, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. I hope you will stick around. We're going to have a little bit of a slideshow at the end, show some of the other cards and things you'll find in the game, a little bit of tease, if you will. And of course, thanks for watching.
Thanks.